The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
This is Vince Russo's The Brand.
Good morning, everybody, on this Tuesday, March 16, 2021. Even though I am recording this on Monday, you will get it on Tuesday. How is everybody doing? I am Vince Russo, and this is a show called That's Life. And let me tell you about life. Life is about, man, there's got to be at least 4 feet of snow outside. My poor dog, it was so bad and so high that Penelope, with her little bulldog legs, could not even go out to go to the bathroom. I had to try to shovel a little walkway for Penelope, bro. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. My heart was beating so fast, bro. The snow is so high. You've got to shovel in layers, bro. You just can't shovel it. You got to start off the top, and then you got to do like a second level, and then till you get all the way down to the bottom. I was out there for maybe 30 minutes just trying to clear a little path for her. And oh my God, bro, very, 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 very strenuous. I hope everybody is doing well today. I hope you did not experience what we did here in Colorado. Bad snowstorm yesterday, snowed all day. It's not supposed to go above freezing today, so that means none of the snow is going to melt. So at some point, I'm going to have to go out there and attempt to shovel. But before I can do that, I've got to do this show. That's life, bro. And that's what this show is all about, bro. It's about life. It's about our everyday walk. It's about striving to be better people. It's about striving to be the best that we can be. It's about messing up. It's about screwing up. It's about learning. It's about life lessons. And it's all about moving forward. I do this show every week. I've been doing this show every week for almost 7 years now. I do believe that May will be the 7th anniversary of russosbrand.com, and I want to thank everybody for being a part of that. I always say this is the most important show I do on here. All the other shows are nonsense for entertainment purposes, and hopefully they will drive you to this show. You know, bro, the headlines these days are all about our right to our freedom of speech. And everybody knows I am a very, very, very strong advocate for freedom of speech. I think a lot of that has to do with me having a journalism degree. I think a lot of it has to do with me being a writer, me being a podcaster, me thinking and feeling and knowing it is absolutely important for everybody to have the right to speak their mind. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are on the pecking order that the world determines. Because you guys know, I think that is all BS. God created each and every one of us equal. And then from there, our life takes shape. A lot of us are victims of our circumstances. A lot of us were born into a troubled family with issues and problems and obstacles. For a lot of us, it wasn't fair. But there is a lesson in everything, and there is a reason for everything. But when you get down to the basics, I do believe that when God created us, every single one of us were equal. So that means that our voices are equal, our opinions are equal, our ideas are equal. And I will fight for that, and I will die on the hill for my freedom of speech. There are a lot of people being silenced It seems that everything is offending everybody nowadays. I'll be honest with you, man. I started putting That's Life up on YouTube. I believe 100% I was shadow banned because I was talking about God. My numbers immediately went down as my subscribers grew. So there is a force out there trying to silence us. If we don't agree with you, we are going to silence you by any means necessary. We'll spread rumors. We'll make stuff up. We'll contact your employer. We'll badmouth you on social media, whatever we have to do to silence you simply because you don't agree with us. And then you have people falling into that trap. You have people that are afraid of the cancel culture, and you have people that will apologize for absolutely nothing. I am not one of those people. That is not going to happen. I am a mature 60-year-old man. If I said something that I need to apologize for, I will be more than happy to apologize for it because I know we all make mistakes. But everything we do, everything we say is guaranteed to offend somebody out there. When Pepe Le Pew is offending people and Dr. Seuss is offending people and Mr. Potato Head is offending people, somebody is going to probably deem something you say or do as offendable, whether it is or not. And then they put the scare of the devil in you. Your life is going to be ruined. We will ruin you. You won't have friends. You won't be able to work. You won't be able to make a living. So you must apologize. You must fall into line. You know, as I'm living through this like everybody else, I can't believe for a second this is the way God intended it to be. I can't believe for a second God intended people to have power over other people due to their opinions and their thoughts and their beliefs. I can't believe for a second that God created us to be silenced by others that he created. I can't believe that for a second. So when I have questions like this, I do what I always do. I go into the Bible. And I always say, let's see what the Bible has to say about this. Because a lot of times, bro, when you go to the Bible, a book that was written thousands of years ago, you will see it will match up beautifully and evenly with what's going on today. So I found this little article on the Compelling Truth website. What is a biblical view of freedom of speech? So what is the Bible's view on the freedom of speech? In 1789, the United States Congress ratified the Bill of Rights, which made 10 amendments to the Constitution. James Madison and many of the founding fathers proposed the amendments because they believed the original Constitution did not adequately protect human liberty. The first and most well-known amendment protects the freedom of religion, speech, and the press, and the rights of assembly and petition. It states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. That's the U.S. Bill of Rights. Freedom of speech essentially means having the right to speak without governmental restrictions or censorship. So you got to be careful about that, bro, because you've heard about the wolf in sheep's clothing, having the right to speak without governmental restriction or censorship. So it may not necessarily be the government But it might be people who say they represent the government, or people that do represent the government but are not letting us know that. So you got to be very, 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 very careful about protecting your freedom of speech. The United States is very proud of the concept of freedom of speech because it makes it a unique nation in comparison to most nations throughout history. Under many other governments, people have been persecuted or punished for speaking freely if what they say does not align with the ideas of those in charge. Wow, bro, does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? In the United States, though, people have been encouraged to share their opinions and question the government when they feel change is necessary. However, recent debates over hate speech have caused Americans to question just how committed the nation is to the First Amendment and whether unlimited free speech is always a good thing. Many of the Founding Fathers' ideas were greatly influenced by Christianity, yet is freedom of speech biblical? At the beginning of the Bible, in the book of Genesis, we learn from the story of Adam and Eve that God had given people free will. I talk to you guys about that all the time. I don't come on this show to tell you to give your life over to Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ gave you that free will to make your own decision. Free will. This is early on in the Bible, bro. This is Genesis. This is out the gate. This is the first thing we learn. God tells Adam and Eve, you may surely eat of every tree in the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. Genesis 2:16 and 17. God warns them that their actions have consequences, but still allows them to make a choice. Therefore, the Bible supports the idea that we have the freedom to say what we want to, but that what we say can have consequences. Although the Bible does not outright advocate for or prohibit free speech, it does provide us with guidelines for what we should and should not say. These guidelines are rooted in the idea that sinful behavior leads to bondage, whereas obedience to Christ leads to freedom. John 8:31-36, Galatians 5:1. On the other hand, the Bible discourages cursing, lying, deception, filthy language, slander, and any evil talk that tears others down. Exodus 27:16, Leviticus 19:11, Ephesians 4:15, 25:29, and Colossians 3:8-9, Titus 3:2. This stands in blatant opposition to how free speech is interpreted by many people in the United States. Influential people often lie in order to win the appeal of an audience. Some businesses use deception to gain more profit. Entertainers use explicit language, and the porn industry twist reality. So the Bible is saying you do have the freedom of speech, but it does discourage certain freedoms. But you've got the free will, and you make that choice. But know there will be consequences. Instead of using destructive language, the Bible encourages us to speak truthfully, build others up with our words, and use our mouths to praise and worship God. Ephesians 4:15-29, 1 Chronicles 16:23-31. It also tells us to speak up for what is right. We see a great example of this in the story of Queen Esther. Esther must save the Jewish people by going before the king and asking him to spare them, even though he has not summoned her. It is against the law for her to speak to the king without his permission, but her cousin Mordecai encourages her by speaking the truth in love. For if you keep silent at this time, relief and deliverance will rise from the Jews from another place. but you and your father's house will perish. And who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this. That is Esther 4:14. So what is a good rule of thumb for knowing when to exercise your freedom of speech? Follow the advice laid out in Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupt talking come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. Wow, bro. See, I'm reading this and I'm learning from this, and I already know this, but this is where I fall. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths. None. But only such as is good for building up. No corrupting talk, just building up talk, as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. So in other words, the law protects our freedom of speech, and the Bible, way before the Bill of Rights and the amendments, way before that, talked about freedom of speech and how important freedom of speech is and what freedom of speech should be used for. And if freedom of speech is used in a negative way, there will be consequences to your words. This is the free will I talk about all the time. In other words, God is saying, bro, you could say whatever you want to say, but every time you open up your mouth, this is what you should be doing. You should be lifting other people up. You should be putting other people over, opposed to using those words to tearing other people down. And guys, I've done that. I am guilty of that. I am not hiding from that. But it's a work in progress with me. See, bro, that's the thing with turning your life over to God. We're all going to make the same mistakes. But for a lot of us, our conscience is not going to be our guide. And our conscience is God. For a lot of us, God is not going to be our guide. So if the wrong things are coming out of our mouth for the wrong reasons, we don't have a conscience. We just say them. There is no filter, so to speak. There is nobody reminding you of the way you should be conducting yourself. And you should be conducting yourself in the image of the one who created you, and that would be God. So we never want to lose our freedom of speech. We never want to be silenced. But on the other side of that coin, we need to understand the consequences behind every word that we say. Because the Bible tells us what we should talk about and what we shouldn't talk about. But just like in the Garden of Eve with Adam and Eve, he clearly tells them what to do, like he tells us what to say and what to not say. But he gives us the free will. It is your choice. But no, if the wrong words come out of your mouth, there are going to be consequences. Man, I've learned this over time, guys. When I look back now on my life, I said a lot of things that I would not say now. I still mess up now. I still F up now. But it's a lot better than it was. And you can't 1,000% abide to everything or the example that God has set for us, because we're not God. We are human. We are flawed. We are going to fall short. We are going to mess up. We are going to screw up because we are screw-ups. And God knows that. And that's why God is there to help. But again, it's your freedom of choice. Do you want God's help or don't you? If you want his help, great. He's on board. If you don't, he's going to allow you to make that decision. So, bro, be very aware of your freedom of speech. Because whereas it is vital and it is important to each and every one of us as individuals with different views, ideas, and opinions, and we never, ever want to lose it. God did not create us and did not create our brothers and sisters to be silenced. Think about that for a second. If God created us to either be silenced or to either go along with the majority, then what was the point of creating us? God created us with a mind to think, and a mind to learn, and a mind to understand. And he gave us the individuality and our personalities to be different and to be unique. So what that means is every single person is going to have a different view, a different opinion, and every one of those views and opinions are valuable because God created you with a purpose. So your words are valuable. Your thoughts are valuable. Your actions are valuable. But again, with that comes a large responsibility. How you should use your words, how you should use your freedom of speech, because your words are a tool. And you could do one of either two things. You could either build people up or tear people down. And you have the free will to choose. You can go out there and do whatever you want to do. But with everything else, there are consequences. Man, you got to think about God is the Father. God is the Father. Think about your parents. Think about growing up as a kid. There were rules and regulations, and there were consequences to you breaking those rules. It's no different. Words are just vital tools, man. Words are very important. How we use our words is very important. If God just wanted us all to fall in line, then what was the point of our existence? If God would have created us all as just a blank, vanilla piece of paper, and we were all the same, and we spoke the same, and acted the same, and had the same thoughts and ideas, what would have been the point? Why would he need all of us? Why wouldn't he just need one? And why are we all different? Why do we all think differently? Why do we all have different views and opinions? Why do we have different ideas and different values? And we should protect those. But we should protect those in a responsible fashion. Think about this. Think about this as you go through today. The Bible discourages cursing, lying, deception, filthy language, slander, and any evil talk that tears others down. Man, bro, how many times are we going to gossip today? Talk about people behind their back, How many times are we going to go on social media today and just cut promos on people? How many times are we going to curse today or use filthy language because we're mad? How many times today are we going to slander because we may be jealous of somebody else and we may want what they have? We're all going to do that today. That is absolutely guaranteed. But the problem arises when that becomes a part of your life and when that becomes a part of your makeup and there is no filter and there is nobody constantly in your ear telling you that is wrong. Do not say that. Without that guide, we are taking our God-given freedom of speech and we are using it for all the wrong purposes. And a lot of us don't even realize that. Man, go through a day just tempering your words and your conversations and how you interact with other people, whether through social media, whether face-to-face. Think about every word that comes out of your mouth. I need to start doing more of that. Our words are so important, and our words can make us or break us. That's what the Bible says. God says, I'm going to give you the freedom of choice of your words, when to use them and how to use them, just like he did going all the way back to Adam and Eve. But it is your choice to make that decision. So, guys, I just want to tell you, if you're listening to this show and you need that guide and you need that filter and you need that constant reminder and you want to better yourself as a human being, because if you better yourself, then you can better others, then all you have to do is ask God to come in your life. That's all you have to do. You could do it while you're driving. You could do it while you're in the toilet, for crying out loud. You could do it while you're sleeping. You could do it while you're at work at your desk. You could do it right now behind your computer. All I could tell you is when I chose God, my life became a lot easier. That was the decision I made. And it took me years and years and years to make that decision because I thought I could do it on my own. But I was badly, badly mistaken. That is it, everybody. That is another episode of That's Life. God bless each and every one of you. If you want to reach out to me, you can contact me at officialvincerusso@gmail.com. Take care, everybody.
The preceding presentation was brought to you by the Realm Network.